So in the last video, we understood or just introduced the idea of the law of demand. As the price of a good increases, the quantity demanded is going to decrease. Now, to understand a bit of why that is true, we're going to look at this idea of diminishing marginal utility or diminishing marginal benefit. Diminishing marginal benefit. So in our previous chapter, we talked about optimization and optimization at the margin, right? So you calculated the marginal benefit of adding one more of something. And you compared that marginal benefit to the marginal cost. Well, you're doing the same thing when you buy goods and services, right? So when we think about, let's think about buying coffee. So I'm going to buy a coffee. Do I want to buy a coffee in the morning if the price is $3? Well, the marginal cost of buying the coffee is $3. And I have to ask myself, is the extra benefit more than $3? If it is, I buy the coffee. If not, then I don't, right? So I'm just going to bring this up here and formally define for us diminishing marginal benefit. What does that mean? Diminishing marginal benefit. That is defined as, or how would I define that, is that the more of something I have, the smaller the marginal benefit from having one more. Right? So the main idea here, so let's think about our coffee example. Right, so let's say the very first cup of coffee applies a marginal benefit of $3. So the gain to me, I've decided, is about $3 of drinking the first cup of coffee. So basically, as long as the price is less than $3, I'm going to buy it. If the price is $2.50, I'll buy it, right? My willingness to pay is $3. I'm willing to pay $3 because that's what it's worth to me. So I'll buy the first cup of coffee. Now, diminishing marginal benefit says that the second cup will have a smaller marginal benefit than the first one. So the second cup, the marginal benefit, might only be something like $2, right? Why? The more of something I have, generally speaking, the smaller the additional gain. I've already had one cup of coffee. The second cup isn't worth quite as much, right? So if you're like me and you really need a cup of coffee in the morning or some caffeine, right? I'm willing to pay a lot more for that first cup of coffee because if I don't, I'm not going to feel good the rest of the day, right? Now, the second cup might be nice to have, but it's not nearly as essential as the first one. And so that's this idea of diminishing marginal benefit. What does that have to do with the law of demand? Well, right, as the price of something goes down, I'm going to be willing to buy more of it. Or another way to put that is, if you want me to buy more of something, you have to decrease the price because once I have more of something, my marginal benefit goes down. So a good way to relate this to the law of demand is that to get me to buy more, you have to lower the price or the marginal cost because my benefit is going to be lower, Buying the second one has a lower marginal benefit and thus a lower willingness to pay. Right, so at $3, my quantity demanded, so if this is the price, this is the quantity. When the price of coffee is $3, I'm willing to buy the first cup, right? But diminishing marginal benefit says if you want me to buy 2 cups of coffee, you have to lower the price because the benefit to me is lower. Right? My marginal benefit was down to 2. And the more of something I have, the lower the benefit. I'm tracing out exactly my individual demand curve. So the law of demand says that the lower the price, the higher the quantity demanded. What is the logical underpinning of that is diminishing marginal benefit. The more cups of coffee I have, the less willing I am to pay for an additional cup. So, when you think about coffee, if you've ever been to one of these chains like Starbucks, right, to give you kind of a concrete example. If you buy a cup of coffee in the morning, let's say you buy one of the fancy drinks, right? So some type of frappuccino or something, or a cold coffee. It's going to cost you, $4 or $5. So if you ever notice, especially in the summer, you'll get a coupon that says if you come back later today, you can buy another drink at half price. Why do they offer that deal? Well, because they understand economics, right? You've bought your coffee in the morning. You are willing to pay a lot more for that one. To convince you to buy that second cup, which is not as beneficial to you, they have to lower the price, right? So that's diminishing marginal benefit and how it relates to the law of demand.